is INCRadio DCEM 954, the voice of truth, the official radio station of the Church of Christ or Iglesia ni Cristo.
And a good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone tuning in to INCRadio San Francisco, California. Thank you so much for your patience as we started off today's broadcast, but I know our broadcast will be well worth the wait because we are talking about one of the most amazing performances, one of the greatest activities that we've recently seen in our districts of Bay Area as well as Silicon Valley, California, and that is our INC 110 concert. So we have a stream of really great panelists that we have joining us today. So can we go ahead and start off? We can do this popcorn style for our panelists to go ahead and introduce themselves. How about we start off with Brother James?
Hi. Can you guys hear me right? All right. Okay. Well, nice to meet you. I'm Brother James Santos from the District of Bay Area, California. And what's the question about our roles during this concert?
Yeah, we can start off with that. I mean, I was just
Right.
gonna say you can just introduce yourself, James.
Okay.
So
Well,
let's
I'm
start
Brother
off
James
here with in
Santos from
concert.
the District of Bay Area, California.
All right, and go ahead and pass it along, James, to the next
All right. And I
participant on
believe
today's
my handsome
panel.
brother over there with the snazzy barong.
Brother Devon Smith from the District of Silicon Valley, local congregation of Fremont. We'll go ahead and pass it on to our beloved sister, Sister Miko.
Hello po to everyone tuning in. My name is Sister Miko, and I'm also from the District of Bay Area, California, the locale of Burlingame. I'm going to pass it on to our brother Josh.
Hello, everybody. Brother Josh, District of Silicon Valley, California, local congregation of San Jose. Hope everybody's doing well.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I know you have so much insight to share with us about our in-concert activity that we held. Before we get to looking back at, this amazing event, we do have a couple of promotions that we'd like to go ahead and show for some of the district activities that we have coming up, both in Bay Area as well as Silicon Valley, California. So Kuya Tech, if you could please go ahead and show us the promos for the activities coming up in our district. I believe we have our sports clinic, VOIP radio training, as well as another sports clinic as well. So Kuya Tech, if you could go ahead and show us our promos. Okay, we'll go ahead and wait one moment until that shows up as well. But, we have a lot, brothers and sisters, that we are looking forward to within our districts. And so first off, we are going to be having a sports clinic for the District of Silicon Valley. That is going to be our sports clinic dance. They're going to be teaching dance on Saturday, August 3rd. So just tomorrow, brothers and sisters, from 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. in the San Jose Function Hall. So if you're someone who is interested in learning dance or maybe already knows how to dance, we'll go ahead and see you over in that sports clinic activity. Within the District of Bay Area, we're also having our sports clinic, but this will be on Sunday, August 4th at 3 o'clock p.m. at House of Hustle in, I believe House of Hustle is in Hayward, California. And so if you're someone who is interested in volleyball or basketball, we'll go ahead and see you at the sports clinic. In addition, we also have our amateur radio and VOIP interactives, which will be Saturday, August 3rd at 5 o'clock p.m. in the San Pablo House of Worship. So hopefully we'll be able to see the promos later on at the end of our broadcast as well. Okay, so back to our topic, all about the INC 110 concert. And if you are in the live chat, go ahead and share with us what your favorite part of the concert was. But let's go ahead and start off and see how our panelists were involved. How about Sister Miko? Could you tell us your role in the in concert?
Yes, Sister Sophia. So, for those who didn't get to watch, I was one of the lucky people who got to experience being a soloist on stage for this year's in concert.
Cool. And yeah, for those who didn't get to watch or didn't get to hear, we hope you soon have the chance to hear Sister Miko's amazing singing voice. Always blown away by the performers that we have. How about for you, Brother Josh? Could you share your role as well in the INC 110 concert?
Yes. So for the INC 110 concert, I was one of the co-creative directors, and I was also the musical director for it and the choir arranger. And I also got the privilege to sing alongside Brother Devon and Sister Miko, my talented brethren over there.
Cool. And I'm going to be digging into more about what that, what it was as creative director as well. But how about Brother Devon? Could you go ahead and share your role as well in the INC 110 concert?
Well, yes, ma'am. I think I was strictly a performer. I was part of production, and as always, we're here to help. We're here to show our part, do our part, and giving our glory to God, right? And nothing makes me happier when I sing for him. So, you know, thank Brother Josh over there. He's always looking for me in these
Always,
scenarios.
brother. Always, brother.
But yeah, that was my part.
Awesome. And lastly, Brother James, I heard you had a really big helping hand in this activity as well. Tell us your role too.
But my role was I believe the term that Kujas likes is PA, personal assistant. I like to be I like to also call it the talent manager, or you maybe even like the talent leash. I just got to make sure that they're there at the right place at the right time. Really help out with the program, making sure it runs smoothly. But overall, man, we gotta have you just have to help out wherever you can, wherever you're needed, just to make sure everything runs smoothly. It's a very fun job.
Brother James
My
is the greatest of all time.
hey,
With
my
production
personal
assistant,
opinion,
stage manager. Yeah,
my
greatest.
personal opinion, he was a lifesaver. He got me much needed water when I needed it,
Mm-hmm.
and I was never lost without that man. So,
Agree. It goes.
No, that's awesome to hear. And there was so much that really went behind. Oh, well, we're seeing a little bit of promos, but okay, we'll go ahead and see now that we have the visuals of the promos for our upcoming activities as well. So, as we mentioned earlier, brothers and sisters, Sports Clinic Dance, that'll be tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. in the San Jose Function Hall. And next promo, Korea Tech should also be our Scan Amateur Radio and VOIP Interactives. That's also tomorrow at 5 o'clock p.m. in San Pablo House of Worship. And lastly, we have one more promo that we'll also be sharing. I believe will be our sports clinic at House of Hustle, 3 o'clock p.m. August 4th. But since we're here, maybe we can go ahead and also just see some of the photos and you know, Brother Josh,
Oh, man. Oh, wow.
perfect, because I wanted to ask you the very next question. Brother Josh, you had a lot of roles, it sounds like, when it comes to this concert. Could you tell us what was the preparation and your role like in this activity?
Getting a lot of people's opinions, a lot of people's feedback, a lot of brethren's, just really collaborating with everyone to figure out what we wanted to present as two districts. It was one district at the beginning, but really trying to develop a message and convey that message through what we were doing. Right. I think sometimes we think it's maybe one or two people who plan everything, but it's a collective. Everyone putting their minds together, trying to figure out what sound we wanted to present, and just putting it all together so that we can put on a really good show that glorifies God and really has the audience feeling something.
Yeah, Brother Josh, and it sounds like you were really there from the beginning as well when it came to the preparation. And with a production this big, what was step one like for you all? Like, how do you even start when it comes to it? And maybe if we could see some more of the additional photos as well, Cleotech, of the final products.
Yeah, you can move off of my photo. That's great. No, what preparation is like, it all starts with what are you trying to convey, right? And so that's really the we went to it with like hope and celebration, right? That's what we wanted to do. And then from there you kind of start listening to the entire catalog. So it's not just, okay, these are my five favorite songs from the church. It's literally going on the YouTube, INC music, INC original music, and listening to every single thing that you can hear, and remembering what resonates with you, what resonates with the message that you're trying to present, and then from there identifying the song. So that's really where it all starts. Having that clear message, and then finding that message and that vibe overall in the music that you listen to.
Yeah, definitely. And there were so many pieces. I mean, just some of the photos we're looking at. We see orchestra, we see different instruments, we see dance, choreography. Shout out to brother Zach too. I believe his role was producer as well as, a live performer, who was there on stage. And yeah, shout out to brother Nick as well, who I believe was also creative director. Please
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong with any of this, brother Josh. But
the great brothers right there.
amazing, yeah, amazing role, as well as another performer, brother Lorenzo. There was just so much that really went into it. And I think it's just so amazing to be able to see how it came together that day of. And we'll see a few comments in the live chat as well. Um, one comment from brother Erwin Prado: can't believe In Concert is over. Shout out and much love to the entire music department for your tireless work and effort to put together this activity to celebrate our anniversary inside the Church of Christ. And I also saw a comment from brother Francis Valencia: throughout the weeks of rehearsal, brother Joshua was always on top of it, along with brother Nick and all others who helped in this blessed production pool. Thanks for all of your help. And it's great seeing the final product. Shout out to our Atejeda as well, one of the singers who was also a photographer backstage, if I'm not mistaken,
It's
too.
doubling up.
Wow.
Everyone doubles up.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of double up and a lot of really hard work went into it. But I know, seeing all these photos, I know there were challenges and things you all had to overcome too through the process. Anything you'd like to share as well about what preparation was like, or how you overcame any of the challenges too? About Sister Miko, you want to mention anything? What did you have to overcome in order to, lead up to the production too?
I think for me personally, speaking not only as one of the soloists for the production, but also as a member of the ensemble choir, um, everyone who was part of the production knows that we were on a really tight time crunch. And there was a lot to memorize in a short amount of time, and a lot of technical details in each song to get right, in terms of like dynamics, in terms of um, harmonies and balance and things like that. And so there was a lot of things to consider in a really short amount of time. So, and this was reiterated to us in every rehearsal, you really had to spend time on your own working on each piece. And it was really important that you didn't just focus on like the one song that you were in, like it's if you were a soloist, but it's also important that you also give that same attention to every song that you're in throughout the entire production. So that's one thing for me that I had to sort of push through as I got closer to the concert. And also, um, singers will know it's really important to take care of your voice leading up to a big show. And we were reminded like no dairy, no, like nothing that'll like clog up your vocal cords, you know.
No
But the thing is,
screaming.
preparing for, yes, preparing for a show in the summer, it's hot, you know,
Right.
and everyone wants some ice cream, everyone wants some like a cold drink, like something, but that's just like a personal challenge that I like had to keep um reminding myself of. It's like, oh, I want this so badly, it's so hot, but in concert it's so I need to take care of my voice. So yeah, those were some some, I wouldn't say obstacles, but just that's like some like a natural just something that you had to like overcome leading up to the concert.
Yeah, definitely. And I know you mentioned time crunch. That was, especially with so many other responsibilities that we're also balancing, but prioritizing this was so important, especially to all those who are involved. Brother Devon, do you have anything to add on to that as well?
I know. I mean, Sister Miko covered quite a bit. I mean, that's what we were going through. I mean, everybody has a story to tell when overcoming the project, But you know, as always, we rely on our Almighty Father to get us through. There's been some nights where I was very tired, you know, and we were talking about, a whole day of worship, taking care of everything, all duties, taking care of our families, before we even got our first meal of the day, even. And then an hour away, we got to head over to our practice. And we spend 5 hours at the practice, again, learning every single detail and aspect that goes into the concert. Yeah, it was some tough days, but we didn't care about that. We know who it was for. So we sit here tonight telling you that everything was wonderful. Everything's a great success because our Almighty Father got us through it once again.
Yeah, if I can add to that, like if people understood the scope of the project in and of itself, Sister Miko touched on it a lot. The thing about how we produce here in these two districts is we want everyone to be together. So we
Mm,
don't say, okay, soloists go off to the side, choir, you're on this side. Soloists are all choir. We're all together as one group. And for like soloists, you have to not only be able to perform your part really well. In our production, they also had to learn about 7 different choir pieces. And
right.
these are very intricate pieces. And, one of the things that we kept reminding everyone is like, we can learn it ourselves, but the reason why things are sometimes made impossible, and one of the ministers who was overseeing reminded us of that, the reason why sometimes these things seem impossible is to not only show us, but to show the world that we have the true God, and the true God
Mm.
is the reason why we're able to find the successes that we have. And that's why we're able to do what we're able to do.
Very well said. Yeah, very well said by everyone. And Brother James, do you have anything you want to add on to about the experience?
I think from the perspective of somebody who was more so backstage, you can see that the gears were always churning, right?
Yes.
Um, from the very top, where at the jail was just was working on the program, making sure everything was smooth. Changes were being made um, on a minute, on a minute basis, right?
Mm,
Um, and especially leading up to the practices and everything there, making sure that everything in a sense was prepped as before the actual day of the performance. In terms of program, in terms of placing, in terms of blocking, in terms of how long does this take, timing each song, how long it would take for each transition. Um, there was a lot of work put in the background just so that on the day of it would be as smooth and as streamlined as possible. So that kind of shows some volumes of how much thought, like Brother Josh had mentioned, and how much thought was put into this whole production, right? For this, it was like Bob was like an hour 30, right? Or some change like that. For that hour and 30, hours and hours and hours and hours of contemplation, of planning, of meetings, of like Brother Devon said, practice. Everything was made so that in that hour and a half, we were able to give praise to the best of our ability.
mm.
Yeah, very well said, Brother James. And, a special shout out as well to our Aunt Jill, stage director, I believe, who I know
Yes.
was, yes, yes,
This is the smoothest show. I'll be honest, this is the smoothest show we've ever had, ever. And I
Mm,
know that it's because of Sister Jill. She's like, oh man,
yes.
she was just keeping us on time, pushing everything and pushing all of the performers. Without her, we don't have the successful show that we did. Like this is literally the smoothest show. I can never remember being a part of, and it's because of her and the team behind her. Sister Michelle also helping with her, and Brother James by being the best stage manager ever. So
I'm
No,
telling you,
no,
man.
no. You know,
I would have
actually,
been lost without him. I'm
no,
telling you.
no.
me
You
and
know what?
Brother Devon
Actually,
would
if
have
I
ended up at the Five Guys down the street instead
No.
of on stage. But we had
Oh,
Brother
that's not
James.
right, man.
No, actually, I would, if it's cool, I'd like to share some words that I believe in our crew chat was being shared. Um, the facility staff were saying, were giving us praise actually, that they were like, this was a complex production. That this wasn't any ordinary production. It was a complex production, right? A lot of moving parts, um, a lot of moving people, right? We can take a testament to the size of the stage, for example, or like, and they were like, despite the complexity of the performance, it was by far as smooth as it could have been, you know. And like you mentioned, Josh, yeah, shout out to at the jail, shout out to JD, our
Yeah.
crew chief, everyone in backstage, and it was such a blessing to have been a part of it.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. And I know just to Jill from me talking to her afterwards, she was even calculating the right time to cue the curtain to go down and up just so that it would time perfectly in between the performances. So even those
It was the slowest curtain I've ever seen in my life. Like the slowest curtain. We
Right.
had all the she had all the timing planned, and then we get to the venue to say, okay, let's watch them drop oh, that's really slow. So she had to change timings on the cue sheet based on how slow that curtain was.
yeah,
That's how
100%.
meticulous she was. So
Yeah, and
appreciate
it
it.
was those details that, I'm so glad we have this broadcast to like share the stories and share those little details that maybe the audience wouldn't know until we get to talk about it together. And, being on stage, once you were there in the moment, how did it feel for you all when, all the preparation, it leads up to that moment, right? What was that feeling like? And Sister Miko, I want to start off with you because I know you have experience too in different performances as well. But what was the feeling like once you were there?
Honestly, whenever I'm on stage, I feel like I just black out until the end. It's just like it's go time. Like I just tunnel vision and it's like, okay, just start trying to remember everything that you rehearsed, try and remember everything that what your blocking is, what's the next line, how do you want to execute this song. It's just like it's all running through my mind at like a mile a minute. But with that can also come a lot of like nervousness and anxiety because there's so much that you have to keep on top of. And so, one of the big things for my experience on stage that really stuck with me is really wholeheartedly putting my trust in God's help and what He could do for me in that moment on stage. I was praying so hard because there's no way that you can remember everything that you need to do on your own. And so I remember, especially since I was one of the soloists in the opening number, it was really like we need to set the tone for the whole entire concert, you know?
There you go.
So it was really just like the main thing was really just like putting my trust in our Almighty God, um, and just trying to let go of any anxiety that I had, just knowing that it would be okay. Like as long as I do my best, then God will do the rest. Not to do a little cheesy rhyme there, but yeah, that was my experience.
Totally. And I know I felt that way, especially even in the audience. It was just like, the performance itself had so much amazing energy and passion behind every song. Brother Josh, what does it feel like to you when you're up there on stage?
So I think it's a weird experience for me because my mother-in-law, she lives with us. She said to me, she goes, "When did you practice any of your songs?" She's like, "I never hear you singing at home. I never hear, and even at rehearsals, I'm never singing my own songs that I'm supposed to actually be singing on." Sister Miko can attest to it. We were at dress rehearsal, and that day was the first time we all sang it together. and it's because I'm doing
Mhm.
the other parts. I'm teaching choir, working with the other leads, and so for me, it's kind of like I get on that stage, and it's the moment before when I get to say a prayer and I get to like calm my nerves, and I'm literally like, "All right, God, you got it. Lord, take the wheel. I'm gonna just go and see what happens." And literally, as soon as I jump on stage, like everything changes mentally, and I'm in a completely different place, and I'm just floating, right? And yeah, so for me, it's like I don't know how I'm able to perform because I literally don't practice, unfortunately. And then I'm just there, and then God's like, "Okay, cool. Let me sprinkle you with a little bit of blessing, and I got your back."
I only
That's
wish it was that
amazing.
easy.
I mean, I do sing. It's just that I don't get to practice. I don't get a lot of time.
No, what I'm hearing, Josh, was like, oh yeah, I woke up and I just came in and I sang.
No, it's
I said
not
no
that at all. It's
practice
not that at all.
needed.
That's why it
And
sounds so terrible.
no, all of you had, such amazing like roles and the vocals, like everything was so amazing about that performance and activity. And I know some of you, it isn't your first time on stage, you're used to performing, but was there anything that made this experience feel unique or really stick out in comparison to previous experiences? And I mean, just knowing that we can say, oh, this is a 110th anniversary, that's such a it's amazing to witness as well. But anything that really made this one stick out as well?
Oh boy.
I got a few.
Uh,
I got a few.
List them out. List
um,
them out.
yeah, go ahead, Josh. I'm still thinking on this one.
Yeah, I got a few. To be honest, I think this is the most united group I've ever been a part of from all the leads. Like, there is no drama internally. There was no
Right.
one trying to make a name for ourselves. One of the things that I really loved about this group is we weren't fighting over titles. There was no credits to anything that we did because we were all just a group. Everyone from myself to the youngest dancer, everyone was united. So that was
Mhm.
one that was huge for me. We were just all one group. It's like when you're in the choir, right? I'm no longer in the choir, but when you're in the choir, no one gets single praise for the processional hymn during
Mhm.
Thanksgiving. It's the choir all together as a unit, and I think our entire production had that spirit. The other thing for me was representation. We had so many age groups. We had Benhi soloists, we had Kadiwa soloists, we had a ton of book load soloists, myself and Brother Devon included,
Mhm.
right? And I think it's important for even in our ensemble choir. My mom was in the ensemble choir. We had other sisters who were a little older in age, and everyone is welcome to these. So
Right.
the representation to know that when we go on stage, it isn't about the age and it isn't about the comfortability that we have on stage. Really, it's the desire to praise God, and everybody was united in that. And I think my third one was this is the first time I've ever shared the stage with my kids. So my wife was in the ensemble choir. Sister Sarah, shout out
Mm,
to you, appreciate you. And then our children, brother Jude and sister Ella, like this was their first time ever being on the stage.
performing.
My son actually, he was born the day after our C2C 10 years ago.
I remember that.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
My wife was pregnant. Sister Sarah was pregnant at the time, and the day after, literally, I was in stage makeup. Went straight to the hospital. Wasn't even our hospital. She had our son, and so to go 10 years later, from where we
Yeah.
started to now him being on the stage with us performing, that was such a. It's how what they always say, like God's love goes from generation to generation, and it's your job
Absolutely.
to make sure you remind the next generation and to see our kids there, we know that it's passing down. So my mom being there to
Right,
myself, Sister Sarah, my wife, and then our kids, that's 3 generations of my family all sharing the stage together.
bruh.
That's God's love. That's God's promise.
Yeah, you got
Man, I'm
it.
Chuck, that was the
Yeah,
one.
you
That
got
was the
it. Hey,
I
my baby girl was up there too,
Mm.
and you know, my opinion on that is she's starting up. It's time for me to actually stop. I'm just gonna be her chauffeur now. So, but yeah, Josh was right on that. God's love, showing through generations and generations. The church is continuing strong. It's going to continue to forge forward. It's not going to stop, and and our families, all of us are part of that. So that's the blessing, and that's the realization that I also had, performing in the 110.
Yeah, that's really amazing. And, we're the ones who are behind the camera right now. I know we're tearing up just hearing how beautiful that really is, to know that families are on stage together. And, the next question I have for y'all, if there was a message that you wanted to give your fellow performers or even the crew, um, what would you share with those who were on the stage with you? How about,
To
oh, yeah.
to the performers. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm just taking over.
No,
Tell me
go
to be
for it,
quiet
brother
if I need
Devon.
to be
I'm
quiet.
so sorry. Go
Who's in
for
the
it.
vibe?
Go
Do it,
for
bro.
it.
Do it, bro. We waiting.
No,
Go for it.
you saying a message. The message I share with everybody. Everybody can attest to that who has spoken to me on a personal level. If I can do it, you can do it.
Truth, bro.
I'm gonna be
Truth.
real with you. We got the true God, and He's brought me from. You know, I won't say. I don't. I have a story. Everybody has a story, but I am a convert, and I come from somewhere else entirely. So coming from that place to here, to seeing God's love every single day, not knowing if I can even sing until I became a member of the Church of Christ. If I can do it, you can do it. Everybody can do it. And for the crew, y'all keep remaining the lifesavers that you are, because y'all took care of me that day. And
That
I'm never going to
unlimited
stop
water.
saying that.
Backpack of water. It's a lifesaver.
But,
Yeah,
you
yeah, I feel
know,
you, brother.
you got it, man. That's in a nutshell. I have nothing on that. Sister Miko, I pray that you continue to do this, because my daughter's going to need your guidance as well.
This
All
is
right.
true.
And, that's what we all do. We take care of each other, we guide one another, and we all come together, to always give grace or give glory to the Almighty Father above.
Yeah, if I could say something to the crew, and I like kind of in our last devotional prayer, try not to cry. Shout out to Sister Chica, our soloist lead. I always end up crying, and they always make fun of me. But the big thing, like to all of them, to all the leads, to everyone who put in work, it's like it's just thank you, right?
Yeah.
Having tremendous amounts of gratitude for everyone who was willing to sacrifice so many things, not for us, not for a vision that we created, but for the that mission to glorify God,
Yeah.
right? Like we can't do this without every single individual, from every stage manager to every performer, how big or small your part was. Your part was all big because we were all together, right? There's so many people. Like I keep saying my mom, but I want to say Kajanine from Hercules, California. I love you, mom. But to really say thank you to everyone who participated, like Sister Miko. Like I was so inspired by Sister Miko and just how she works. We were telling her in one of our rehearsals, me and Brother Devon, like you're the future of this.
Yes.
Me and Brother Devon are old
Yes.
men in the game. We're retiring, is what we
We're
say,
done.
and it's Sister Miko and the others like her, like the Sister Audrey's, like the brother Isaiah Pablo. They're the ones who take us forward in the future, and they're going to be the ones teaching our kids in the future. So it's thank
Hmm.
you, and keep going.
There you go.
That was beautifully said. James, Miko, anything to add? How are you all feeling too now that, this production has happened?
You know, um, you guys put it and summed it up pretty well. And in fact, you guys already, I'll be basically echoing what you guys are saying. It's been a blessing. It's been and all in all, and Q Josh, you said it. You said it best. Every part, whatever it was, whatever role it was, it all was just to make and help show that we are able to give our best in giving glory to God. And you know, if you are thinking about joining the next few performances, it's really as easy as showing intent. Like if you want, you could literally just text your nearest CFO president, what from all the way from C Dubs. I mean, we had C Dubs kids singing, C Dubs kids dancing, and like you said, and like TJ said, book club. Nothing is if you have that interest, if you have that if you were inspired at any form of way throughout this performance, throughout this production, and maybe even like from hearing what we're speaking about, absolutely you're more than welcome in terms of coming in and joining us, because this is one of the opportunities we have to not only just showcase our talents, but to give glory to God in a different way, from or the same way, a little different.
Awesome. Sister Mika, anything to add how you're feeling too?
I think, like what Queer James said, we kind of wrapped all of it up really nicely. But for me, as one of the younger performers, I want to say thank you to all of the veteran performers who I had the privilege of singing with, of working with, of just knowing and meeting throughout in concert, because all the veteran performers are the ones who inspired me to actually want to join in performing in concert.
Hey.
Um, and I also would like to say to just everyone part of the crew, every performer, to don't stop doing what you love, especially for the church, because without everyone's passions, then we wouldn't be able to have a concert to offer to our Almighty God in the first place. So I would say to all the current and future performers to keep doing what you love. Um, and also, I would like to say thank you to everyone part of the production, just for being such a good support system, not just for me, but also for each other. I mean, I had Ates who I had just met like a few days ago. By the end, we were laughing like we were best friends with each other. And it just, that atmosphere, it makes you feel so much happier performing and being there with everyone. And it also helps make all of your sacrifices worth it, in addition to the performance itself and the experience and the blessings that we receive, but also just having people there knowing that they all support you. um, it's just really comforting, and it keeps you going, especially when you're so tired, to be able to have those people who you can lean on, or who you can literally lean on, because um, there were times during our tech rehearsal where I almost slipped going up the risers. And during the show, my authors in front of and behind me started holding my hand in the dark, making sure that I didn't trip or anything backstage. So shout out to Ata Jaden and Ata May for making sure that I didn't fall or make any loud noises in between transitions. But yeah, just thank you to everyone. Thank you isn't enough to express the gratitude that I feel to be part of this production and to know everyone who I met throughout this entire experience.
And
Thank
if I
you.
can say, for anyone who's like interested in this stuff, I know there's always apprehension, like, oh, I don't sing like that, I don't dance like that, I don't perform right. I don't know about all the other districts, but we've never auditioned here. That's kind of not what we care. That's not what we care about. We just care about that people have the correct heart. We used to have this joke when we used to run the NorCal Gospel Choir, that if you could clap, you could join the gospel choir, because it's like all that we care about is that you got the right heart. Like, it doesn't matter. God will take care of the rest.
Right.
If you're doing all the work, God's just gonna be like, all right, here you go, here you go. I'll fill in your gaps. We're fine. So yeah, just join. Just join. Age doesn't matter. Skill level doesn't matter. It's really just the vibe that we're all a part of, and
That's it.
a part of the blessings together. And Brother Devon, I don't know if you heard Sister Miko, but she said you can't retire, my brother.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
All the school
I don't know if you,
also
I
said
don't know if you guys.
we can't retire, but she did call us old as well. Just
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, of course.
veteran means old. Just letting you know.
Well,
That's
I
what
don't know if you guys
Actually,
read. You guys are reading the chat. There's a lot of people saying you both can retire. So you guys gonna have to
Oh,
stick around for a little bit longer.
I
Man,
was
we
just
just
gonna
retire
say
until the next one. Like, let's be honest, Devon. We lying to
Yeesh.
ourselves all the time.
I was just gonna say, if you read the live chat, actually, Ate Jill said you can't retire, and last I checked, she was director, so
Fair,
she
hey, fair
got
enough. That means she can't retire either.
She's
exactly,
stuck with
yeah.
us.
Exactly. And we do have a lot of great shout outs that I want to read in the chat as well. And from Zach and Izzy Sese, to Jill, JD, Michelle, and Jerome were on point with all the cues. And I did just want to give a shout out as well to the audio and tech. And, there's just so many to thank within the production that, you all did an amazing job. And thank you so much for your hard work as well. And I saw this comment. I'm not sure, the McCarson fam vlog. In that moment, I really felt God helped me with our performance. I'm not used to sing in front of a lot of people. I felt like my voice hides in the back of my throat when I see people watching me. But at that time, I was relaxed, a little bit nervous, but we pulled it off. I did it after all those doubts of myself. I can do it. We did it. So amazing. And they also include in their comment, truly, if you put everything in God's hands, everything will go very well, and you'll be surprised of the results. And then Sister Darlene is also in the live chat, and shout out to Sister Darlene for spearheading, I believe, the hair and makeup
Makeup.
as well. Yeah. And
Beautiful.
so exactly, like, big impact as well with the makeup team as well. And Zach and Izzy also mentioned could really feel the united love throughout the entire planning, rehearsal, and the event itself. And then another commenter, EJG. Yes, sir. 3 generations sharing the stage. So blessed and honored to have been able to perform with my family. And really great being able to see all these reflections and comments on how the performance went. Do you all have anything else you'd like to share before we wrap up our show? Just about, what it felt like, any other words of encouragement you'd also like to share on INC Radio?
I want to thank the audience
Right.
because, like, legitimately, like, as a creative director, I'll be honest, I don't know if the show's going to be any good. Like, I know God is good, but I don't know if the show is any good. Like, if the things that we've been working on, like, I'll be honest, I worry so much. I'm like, what if no one claps? What if I put everyone in terrible positions and we're just horrible? But that crowd, how they responded, how they gave us
Yeah.
life and energy,
Yeah.
like, thank you to all of them. Thank you to all of our brethren in the districts. Like, they came to celebrate God, right? And
That's right.
they all
That's
showed
right.
out. And I know that as soon as you hear them, even from the pre-show, Brother Brian and Safe Haven, like, they kicked us off right. Like, they got that crowd primed and ready. And as soon as we hit celebrate, I was like, it's like a finale the way that they're cheering. So shout out to everybody from the district. Y'all are great. We love you.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Since we're doing little shout outs, I want to shout out all the first time performers. I know shout out to that you got some first
Hey.
time performers over at the dance crew. Shout out to Cyrus. Cyrus came out, came through. He's one of our Ben he turned Kadiwa just this year, I believe. Came out, joined that dance, got 3 dances in, put his best foot forward, and hopefully see him and all of the new first time performers on stage again for the next future performances.
All right. Any other
Right.
shout outs or comments? Miko, Brother Devon, any other last thoughts before we wrap up?
Well, I mean, you got the audience. That's pretty much everybody. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
my bad. I'm selfish, my brother. I took all of the thank yous. I'm trying to be the best at gratitude. You saying give thanks, but I'm gonna actually give thanks. So
There you go. Oh, okay. There you go.
thank you to INCRadio for giving us this recap. This is like therapy
Yes.
for us because we all miss it already. Our
Already.
chat is blowing up. Like we just have friends chats and like people messaging me. It's like we all miss each other. I miss everybody, and so thank you to INCRadio for giving us this platform to share with one another.
Okay.
Just to just to stay in it a little longer.
Yeah, thanks so much, Brother Josh. And Sister Miko, any final words too before we wrap on up?
I would like to say to anyone who is thinking about joining in concert, I feel like I will always say this any chance that I get in relation to every in concert ever, but you like people will be there to support you. And Brother Josh touched on this a little bit, but really, like, if you have the spirit and the motivation, you don't need to worry about anything else. And if you're like, for me personally, I actually started performing for in concert not knowing anyone there, and no one from my locale that I knew was also performing the same time that I was performing. But thankfully, God allowed me to find some new friends, so many new friends, um, entering into my first performance. And I just want everyone to know, who might be thinking about it or who might be on the fence, you will have that support system. God will not allow you to be alone or feel like um, you can't be there, or like you can't, or that you don't feel like you belong, you know. So I would say, if you're thinking about it, to just go for it. And I think it's a wonderful experience to have for anyone.
Hey, listen,
Wow.
Miko. Look, we're not friends, okay? We family.
With family. Yeah.
I don't know what you thought.
I know. What's this friends? I was wondering.
What's
I
all
was
this
thinking the
friend
same
talk?
thing as you, my brother. I was like, James, James, my brother. Sister Sophia, my sister. Miko, my sister too. Like,
That's
it's
right.
family.
My bad. I mean, prepare to expand your family by at least 15 new members.
uh, the truth is,
Yeah.
I've never felt closer to anybody like this till I became a member. So, you know, I say and I joke, sure, but that is the truth. Everybody I meet in the church I never seen before, it don't matter. I'm getting a hug because I know you share the same faith as I do, and that's what we're all about. Striving to get to the same place that is our salvation. So, yeah, y'all family.
Man, well said, Brother Devon. And thank you so much to everyone who joined in today's broadcast. Thank you, Brother Josh, for saying it was like therapy. It was just amazing for me, and I know for all those viewing, to really get a peek of what it was like. And thank you so much for sharing your stories with us. And we hope this won't be the last time that we see you on INC Radio. Hopefully, you'll be able to join us and share more activities, more experiences, and that we'll be able to hear even more stories. Again, if you're someone who wants to be a performer within the INC Music Productions, you now know who to talk to. Talk to Sister Miko, Brother Josh, Brother James, Brother Devon, and you can really get in the performances as well. If you want to talk on INC Radio, just message me and we'll have you share your story as well, or any of your CFO officers. And that's a huge, amazing blessing. There's always something really amazing to be involved with within the church. So thank you so much to all our panelists and to all our viewers on INC Radio today. We'd like to go ahead and also send our thank yous over to our Silicon Valley District staff, our CFO Overseer, Brother Francis Valencia, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Alex Lanyate, and to the District Supervising Minister, Brother Noel Gasman. From the Bay Area, California District, we'd like to thank our Multimedia Advisor, Brother Sean Adam, our CFO Overseer, Brother Alex Laredo, our Assistant District Minister, Brother Rayuel Del Rosario, as well as our District Supervising Minister, Brother Jojo Bayani. For all those who helped us on INC Radio today, we'd like to send our thank yous to our Clea Tech over in the Philippines, as well as to our Executive Producer, Brother Manley Andaya. And of course, we'd also like to say our thank yous to the church administration. Thank you so much to our SEBC CEO, Brother Angelo Manalo, as well as to our executive minister, Brother Eduardo B. Manalo, for all of your help, guidance, and allowing us this platform of INC Radio. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We hope to see you again next week, next Friday at 9:30 p.m. And have a good night, everyone. See you soon.
wake-up call for us all, whom God has called into the fold. He expects us to